Come back to online classes. Today we are going to see in history chapter 3 the last topic, that is knowledge about the Holocaust. Here Holocaust means suffering and atrocities that people had to bear during the Nazi killing operations. Atrocities here means cruel act. So information regarding the Holocaust trickled out of Germany during the last years of regime, but the full horror of the Holocaust was revealed only after Hitler was defeated. Many of Jews survived the Holocaust to tell their stories. The indomitable spirit of the survivors to bear witness are precious sources of information. The Jews wanted the world to remember the atrocities and sufferings they had endured during the Nazi killing operations, also called Holocaust. The other sources are diaries, notebooks, and documents preserved by many ghetto and camp inhabitants who did not survive the days. Now, knowledge about the Holocaust lives in documentaries, poetry, memorials, and museums in many parts of the world. They are a tribute to those who resisted it and embracing reminder to those who collaborated. Children, now let us discuss certain questions which are given in the exercise. That is, first question, describe the problems faced by the Weimar Republic. Weimar Republic faced many problems right since its birth, that are as follows. The Republic was forced to sign a humiliating Treaty of Versailles. Germans held the Weimar Republic responsible for not only the defeat in the war but also the disgrace at Versailles. It carried the burden of war guilt and national humiliation. The Republic was financially crippled by being forced to pay war compensation. In 1923, Germany refused to pay and the French occupied its leading industrial area, Ruhr, to claim their coal. Germany retaliated with passive resistance and printed paper currency recklessly. With too much printed money in circulation, the value of German mark collapsed. Prices of the goods soared. This crisis came to be known as hyperinflation, a situation when prices rise phenomenally high. Weimar Republic had to face another economic crisis. USA withdrew her support when the Wall Street Exchange crashed in 1929. German economy was the worst hit by the economic crisis. Workers lost their jobs or were paid reduced wages. The Weimar Constitution had some inherent defects which made it unstable and vulnerable to dictatorship. One was proportional representation, which made achievement of majority by any one party a near impossible task. Another another defect is Article 48, which gave the president the power to impose emergency, suspend civil rights, and rule by decree. All these provisions lead to instability in Germany. Now let us discuss the second question. Why Nazism became popular in Germany by 1930? The principal causes which are responsible for popularizing Nazism in Germany was summed up here. First is discontent due to the Treaty of Versailles. After defeating the Germany, Allies had imposed many unjust conditions on Germany. it was forced to accept them under the threat of aggression. The aggression gave rise to Nazism in Germany. Political instability in Germany. Under the Weimar Republic, there existed political instability. As many as 21 coalition governments were formed and fell. Policies changed frequently. Hitler promised a stable and strong government. He won the support of the people. Now, the economic crisis. It was during the Great Depression that Nazism became a mass movement. As we have seen, after 1929, banks collapsed and businesses shut down, workers lost their jobs, and the middle class were threatened with destitution. In such a situation, Nazi propaganda stirred hopes of a better future. Now we'll come to Hitler's dynamic personality. Hitler was a powerful speaker. His passion and his words moved people. He promised to build a strong nation, undo the injustice of Versailles Treaty, and restore the dignity of German people. He promised employment for those looking for work and a secure future for the youth. He promised to weed out all foreign influences and resist all foreign conspiracies against Germany. So this Nazism became popular in Germany in 1930. Next question is, what are the peculiar features of Nazi thinking? The peculiar features of Nazi thinking are: Nazi ideology was same as Hitler's worldview. According to this, there was no equality between people, but only a racial hierarchy. In this view, blonde, blue-eyed Nordic German Aryans were at the top, while Jews were placed at the lowest rung. Hitler's racism was borrowed from thinkers like Charles Darwin and Herbert Spencer. As we have already seen about the Charles Darwin and Herbert Spencer, the Nazi argument was simple. The strongest race would survive, the weakest one would perish. Nazi wanted a society of pure and healthy Nordic Aryans. It meant that even those Germans who were seen as impure or abnormal has no right to live. Under the euthanasia program, the Nazi condemned to death many Germans who were mentally or physically unfit. Hitler believed in Lebensraum or living space. New territories had to be conquered to increase the living space. Hitler hatred of Jews was based on pseudoscientific theories, theories of race, which held that conversion was no solution to the Jewish problem. It could be solved only through their total elimination. Next is, so these are the peculiar features of Nazi thinking. Next question is, explain why Nazi propaganda was effective in creating a hatred for Jews. Media was carefully used to win support for the regime and popularize its worldview. Nazis' ideas were spread through visual images, films, radio, posters, catchy slogans, and leaflets. In posters, groups identified as the enemies of Germans were stereotyped, mocked, abused, and described as evil. Jews were attacked as malicious foreign agents. Propaganda films were made to create hatred for Jews. The most infamous film was The Eternal Jew. Jews were shown with flowing beards, wearing kaftans. They were referred to as vermin, rats, and pests. Nazism worked on the minds of the people, tapped their emotions, and turned their hatred and anger at those marked as undesirable. Next question. This was the Nazi propaganda which was effective in creating a hatred for Jews. Next is explain what role women had in Nazi society. Return to chapter 1 on the French Revolution. Write a paragraph comparing and contrasting the role of women in the two periods. So let us see now first about the role of women had in Nazi society. In Nazi Germany, girls were told that they had to become good mothers and rear pure-blooded Aryan children. Girls had to maintain the purity of the race, distance themselves from Jews, look after the home, and teach their children Nazi values. They had to be the bearers of the Aryan culture and race. Women who bore racially undesirable children were punished, and those who produced racially desirable children were awarded. All Aryan women who deviated from the prescribed code of the conduct were publicly condemned and severely punished. So let us see now the comparative study of the role of women during Nazi rule and the French Revolution. Women played an important role in the French Revolution. They took an equal part in social and political developments of their country. On the other hand, the Nazis thought that it was wrong on the part of women to demand their rights. Then, most of the French women had to work for a living along with the men, but German women were not allowed to work along with men. In France, both men and women were treated equal. But in Germany, women were considered nothing more than the bearers of the Aryan culture. And this much is for today's class. Thank you very much.